Hey, good morning, friends and family. It's a Saturday morning. I'll probably go back to sleep. You know this. This is a long weekend. This is like Memorial weekend. So I have a 3-day weekend. So you know how I am. Going to the Kingdom Hall later, a little later in the afternoon. But right now, just up, washing clothes or whatever. Um, man, the reason why I make these videos is because I like making these videos. At the same time, I'm on social media, not a lot, but I'm on social media, and there are people who can really convey their thoughts by typing it in and writing it down, on a computer or typing it on their smartphones. They can really raise or illustrate the depth of how they feel through these avenues. With me, yes, I can express myself through written language very well, but I feel like I can really convey my thoughts better verbally. I mean, straight from the heart and the mind and out the lips and the tongue. So the inspiration for this video was one of my friends. I call him Uncle Crush. He's a guy from Chicago, and I got some friends from Chicago, and a lot of people who know me knows I used to run with a certain organization that's rooted in Chicago. So that's why, I got respect for Chicago in that sense. But the inspiration for this particular video was that my friend from Chicago, he lives in Atlanta, but my friend from Chicago posted a video about the Ida B. Wells. And the Ida B. Wells is a certain low income project in Chicago. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's south side or west side, but it's very impoverished. And I think they were going to like shut it down and board it up. And they were like interviewing like an older man, and the police was talking about, and the lady was actually crying. They were talking about, they were going to find him a shelter or temporary housing, and then they were going to find, basically a facility for him or find. But all through the whole situation, all I could think about, friends and family, brothers and sisters, is that during this whole ordeal, the man was stripped of any choice. He didn't have a choice. He had to leave where he was living, and where he was living wasn't really all that to begin with. And then, he didn't have a choice of where, he could move to or who he could move with or where they were going to put him. So it automatically made me appreciate all of the choices that I have. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be able to have a certain amount of control in your life is a blessing. First of all, the blessing that the Most High God, who sits upon his throne in heaven, gave us was free will, the ability to choose. That in itself is a gift. But in life, because of circumstances, because of social circumstances, because of age, because of ability, because of race, sometimes we are stripped of choices. Sometimes financially, we don't have options, or we can't do what we want to do, or would benefit us the most, or will make us happy. We don't have choices. But I will say this: in life, when you have the opportunity to make a choice, give Jah the praise, give Jehovah the praise, man, because it's so many people that don't have a choice. And there's so many people that don't have options. And what I like to give Jehovah thanks and praise for is that we serve a God that when you think that there's no other choice, Jehovah will create an option. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I want you guys to really think about this, to fully understand who Jah is. You have the Israelites, right? You had a ferocious army of trained killers, Egyptian soldiers, the world power, right? Pursuing them on one side, and then a body of water, right? A body of water where they could have died and drowned, right? So they were like between a rock and a hard place. In their mind, there was no other option. It was either get killed by the Egyptians or it was drowned to death. But our God, Jehovah, created an option. Just split the sea and made the wall stand up and they walk right on through it. You understand what I'm saying? Jehovah created. They had two choices. Really, they had no choice. It was either die this way or die that way. It was death. They ain't had no choice in their minds. But Jehovah gave them an option. He created an option. Nah, I'm going to give you life. Walk through this water real quick. And so that's why I say, like, thank Jehovah that you have choices and options, because there are people out here that don't have no choice. I think about I really think about my grandmother. And I always think about how scary it is how really scary it is to grow old in the system. I look at my grandmother and how she was kind of passed from one family member to another family member. Do you understand what I'm saying, brothers and sisters and friends? Like, you get a certain age where you end up at is where you end up at, and you can't do anything about it. My grandmother was passed from one family member. When they got tired of her, is another family member. You understand what I'm saying? And my grandmother used to say stuff like, what she used to say, brothers and sisters and friends, she used to say, like, my mom told me when they took her out of the nursing home, like maybe like for a day, she would ride past the houses, like a house, and say, oh boy, I wish I could live here. I wish I could live there. She would look at people's houses and say, I wish I could live here. Or I wish I could live there. And I'm telling y'all, just telling y'all this is like making me want to well up in tears, because I'm telling y'all, I know what it feels like to be somewhere that you don't want to be. I've been homeless before. I know how I feel to, like, you don't have no choice. This is where you got to go. I can't choose to go in a condo that's comfortable and have a refrigerator full of food that I enjoy. I had to go to this shelter. I had to be somewhere where I didn't want to be, and I felt sorry for my grandmother, and she's not at an age where she can do what she wants to do. So I implore you brothers and sisters, man, to give Jah the praise and thanks. If you able to make decisions in your life and to say, look, if you're able to go to the supermarket and you say, I'm not going to eat this MSG stuff with all these type of chemicals. I'm going to eat organic food. I want to put organic, natural food in my body. Man, give Jah the praise, man. Thank Jehovah for that. It's some people that can't choose that, man. They got to eat what's given to them. All type of pesticides and poisons. They got to ingest this crap. They got to eat it. What about people in certain countries that can't even I can choose whether to drink tap water, or I can say, ew, I ain't going to drink this stuff. I'm going to go get bottled water. It's people that don't have that choice. You understand what I'm saying? I got a cousin that's living down here with me in Baltimore, right? I mean, I'm not in Baltimore. I'm sorry, guys. In Atlanta, with Marietta, Georgia, out a little ways outside of Atlanta. And whenever I miss my mom, if I say I miss my mom, I miss Baltimore, I want to see my brother, I want to see my grandmother, I want to hear people that have my accent, I just get up and I'll go. I'll put my little money aside, Southwest Airlines, money to the side. Yo, I'm gone. My cousin, he haven't seen his parents like in 4 years. So like with him, every time he can go, because of his job or because him trying to keep a stable job, he can't go. So I'm thankful to God, man, that I can do what I want to do when I want to do it. If I see a pair of shoes that I want, no matter what the price, I can go get it. I don't got to get these pair or that pair or a pair that I don't like or a pair that I just have to, wear because that's just what it is. I have a choice in the matter. And I thank God, I thank Jehovah for that. I mean, even where I stay, like I said, I was homeless at one point, man, twice. And where I had to be is where I had to be. But I thank God, like right now, I don't even sleep in my room. I don't even sleep in my room because I had like a health scare. I had sleep apnea and I wasn't breathing. And I always close the door behind me. I don't like to sleep with the door open. So what happened with me was that I would sleep on the couch so that my roommate, if I passed out or something happened or I couldn't breathe, he would see me on the couch versus I'm in a room and he probably think I'm still asleep when I could be not breathing. But the point is that if I choose to go back in my room, I can go back in my room and sleep. But there's some people that live in a household where there's so many people there, they can't get a bedroom to themselves. They can't have a bed to themselves. They got to sleep on the couch. That's where they got to be. So I just take the time to thank Jehovah. Like, look at your life and look at the options and choices that you have and really meditate and be like, Jehovah, I recognize that you allowed me to choose. There's some people who, like me, if I wanted to get a vehicle, I could get a vehicle. The same money that I save up and put into flying around the world, you know what I'm saying? I could have been had a car. But the point is, I have choices. There's some people, no matter how much money they save up, no matter what they do, they're not going to have a car or a vehicle to transport them from one place to another in a comfortable fashion. But if you have a car, thank Jah that you have a car. If you have a car that's running, it might not even be the latest model, but give Jah the praises that you have a vehicle. Because there's some people that will never have a vehicle. It's people that got kids. Like, they're transporting their kids. Like, if they have a doctor's appointment for their child, they just can't comfortably drive and go pick their child up and take them to a doctor's appointment. They got to catch the bus, 2 or 3 buses just to get them there on time. Some people could be at work, make a little money, take a portion of their day and go drive and go get their kids and take them to a doctor. Some parents got to take the whole day off because they don't have a car. So they got to take their whole day off. They got to get them up early. They got to do whatever. They got to make sure they get them there on time. So, man, all I'm saying is thank Jehovah. See, whenever I travel, no matter where I go, brothers and sisters and friends, man, I always take my behind to that Kingdom Hall. Or I go out and field service. You know why? It's because I'm supposed to be doing it. You're right. But some people make their mind up like, well, I mean, you know, hey, my congregation is back in such and such. And my territory is back in such and such. Man, look, with me, I go to the meetings. I go to out in service wherever I travel because I want to let Jehovah know, like, look, Jehovah, I know it's because of your hand that I'm here. Let me tell you about options. Let me tell you about Jehovah blessing somebody. Let me give y'all this. This was the first year that I ever went to Bermuda. Now, let me tell y'all this. I was at Sheltering Arms, right? I was a pre-K teacher's assistant. Let me tell y'all this. This is how you know that Jehovah's behind stuff, right? Jehovah gives you options. Jehovah, once you put something in Jehovah's hands, that's why what it says in Isaiah 43, who can snatch anything out of my hands? Once you place a situation in Jehovah's hands, can't nobody take it out. So already made my mind up. Look, I'm going to Bermuda. I'm going up to Baltimore. I'm going to support my aunt in the ministry. She was going through stuff so much, she almost lost her faith. And I said, I'm going to do that. And I talked to Jehovah about it, right? So at my job, this is around the summertime. Now, I was working part-time. I was officially part-time as far as paperwork is concerned, but I was getting full-time hours. Now, check this out. Summertime, now, here's the policy with Sheltering Arms. The policy is sometimes the numbers of children go down in the summer. Basically, people might keep their kids at home. They might send their children with people, what do you call that? Like out of town, or put them in a different summer camp or whatever the case. So the numbers might be down. So Shelter Arms is like, well, we can't promise you employment in the summer. So you sign a waiver. Like your employment is based on maybe being called in, or if the manager has sufficient work for you to do, boom, but we're not guaranteeing you this. So you sign it and you say, look, I can agree to that. I'll be available for however they want. It's no guarantee. And then I'll come back after the summer. So I used to take advantage of it. I said, well, if officially I'm kind of inactive in the summer, but I'm kind of active, I'm going to take advantage of that. I'm going somewhere. So I said, I'm taking July off, right? Here's the crazy thing about it. Now imagine it was one teacher on maternity leave, right? 3 teachers got fired because there was a situation of where some little kid, they forgot that some little kid was still outside. They made a mistake and left him out there. He was laying down on a bench, but they didn't see him. The way the kid was positioned, they didn't see him. So the teachers had really kept it to themselves. And then one teacher got mad at another teacher and they went and told. And everybody that saw the little boy out there who knew about it got fired. So when you think about it, 5 teachers was gone. And one of them was in the room with me and the teacher that I was with. And so I was like, well, I already made up my mind that I was going to leave in July. Now, this is what will happen. This is what my manager said. I said, Miss Stephanie, are you sure that I still could leave and go to Bermuda or go to Baltimore in July? She looked at me. She said, Mr. D, you work hard all this year, and anytime my teachers put in for vacation, they deserve it. She said, we'll be okay. She said, go see your family. Go take your vacation, because when you come back from vacation, all of this craziness will still be here waiting for you. And that's God. Because okay, you already got 5 teachers. You got about, let me see. It was 2 on maternity leave. 2 on maternity leave and 3 that got fired. So 5 teachers, include me, that's 6 teachers that's missing. What person in their right mind is going to let teachers just leave and then they struggling with what to do? But once again, I had a choice. I could have said, well, I'm going to stay and help y'all out. Or I could have just left and went, on a little vacation thing. But the point is, man, I tell y'all, brothers and sisters and friends, man, thank God for your options. Thank God that you have a choice, man, that you have some say-so over what you can and can't do, because everybody don't have that option, man. I'm telling y'all. And so even with the little that I have, I give Jah the praise. Just yesterday, I'm like, I want Chinese food. And me and my roommate riding around different places. Or you want to eat here, you want to eat here, you want to eat there. Man, there's some people that don't have that choice. They got to eat from the grocery store. And even if they eat from the grocery store, it might not be the choices of options for them. You know what I mean? So for me to be able to say, I want to eat here, I don't want to eat there, I don't feel like cooking, I'm going to just blow $20, $25 at a restaurant of my choice. That is a blessing. So remember, brothers and sisters, my friends, my family, realize and recognize that it is Jehovah who blesses us with options and choices. For you to have the ability, the financial ability, the mental ability to do as you please. And I thank Jehovah every day about the stuff that I'm able to control. There's a lot of things in my life that I can't control, but there's a lot of things that I do have control over. There's a lot of choices that I do have and the options that I do have. And I praise my God. I praise my Father for this. Really think about this, brothers and sisters. Really meditate on this, because it's a blessing from God to be able to have choices. Some people don't have choices, man. They got to get what they get, and they get it when they get it. And what they got is what they have. My kids have a saying, you get what you get and don't pitch a fit. But we say that because, children be all picky. Oh, I don't like lemon cookies. I don't like sandwich cookies. I don't like vanilla wafers. So we tell them, look, you get what you get. This is what we have for you. You get what you get and you don't pitch a fit. Some people in life are like that. They don't have any choice. But I implore you, brothers and sisters, give Jah the praise for the choices that you do have, that you can be able to decide what you want to eat, where you want to live, what you want to put on, and that some people don't have that choice. They have to struggle. Whatever they have is what they have. So continue to give Jah the praise. Brothers and sisters, love you guys. My friends and family, if you don't know Jah, come to know Jehovah. I'm telling you, that's the best thing you could do with your life. One love.